Unresolved Problem segment tonight. As you may know, I have asked American clerics to preach over this coming weekend about confronting the evil the jihad is imposing on the world. Thousands of clerics have told me by email they're going to do that. But some religious leaders are pacifists, peacemakers. Joining us from Washington, Reverend Jim Wallace, Protestant and editor of Sojourners magazine. Kate Gould, a Quaker, who analyzes Mid-Eastern policy for the Friends movement. Ms. Gould, begin with you. We know Quakers are pacifists. We respect that. But when you see ISIS trying to establish a caliphate and expanding their territory thousands of miles and committing atrocities against people, do you feel any moral obligation as a Quaker to stop that?
Of course. We all have a moral obligation to stop the atrocities that ISIS is committing. And the way that we can do that is by working toward a political solution that starves ISIS of the three things that it needs to thrive. And that's money, weapons, and recruits.
Okay, so let me stop you there. So you want a political solution to stop people from giving ISIS money. Now, you know that ISIS sells oil to get money, that fanatical Wahhabists give ISIS money. You're not going to be able to stop either of those things. Okay, can't stop them. All right? And you also know that there isn't really a political solution in the sense that ISIS is not going to negotiate with anybody and that they have free rein on the social media to recruit. You can't stop that. So isn't it pie in the sky? Isn't it a ruse for you to say that this could lead to some kind of a solution?
No, because how we stop the flow of money to ISIS is by cracking down on oil sales and also working with local communities.
Cracking down with whom?
We have to put pressure on the Gulf countries and make sure to work with local communities to stop the access that ISIS now has in those local communities. Well,
they conquered the some oil fields in Iraq. They're not getting the oil from Saudi Arabia. They've conquered.
Right.
And they've taken the oil and they're selling it to people who are buying it. We crack down on whom?
There are still local communities that are allowing ISIS to access oil pipelines in their communities.
Who?
And the way we have to, so they're in Iraq and Syria.
But those are territories under the control of ISIS.
Yes, and we have to work, so many of them are, and yes, and we have to work through policing, local policing efforts and intelligence efforts to stop that.
What local police? There is no local police. ISIS have cut their heads off. All right, think about it. I'll come back. Reverend Wallace, all right, we've had you on many times, and we, again, respect your role as a peacemaker. But surely you know that these savages are now, and we haven't even talked about Boko Haram, killing people in Africa, the Taliban slaughtering children in Pakistan. How would you, Reverend, suggest we stop that?
Peacemaking, Bill, that's the right word. Peacemaking is different than peace-loving. Peacemaking takes hard work. So as you know, yesterday was Ash Wednesday. This is the season of Lent, a time of reflection and repentance. The Apostle Paul said this to your question. He said, don't be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Naming evil is very important. How you overcome evil is the critical question.
Then how would you do it, Reverend?
More military solutions will not
No, Reverend. How would you stop the ISIS savages from murdering innocent people? How?
The first thing I would do is I think they're going to take advantage of your narrative of a holy war. I would never use that language, and faith leaders are going to reject the narrative of a holy war.
But you're still not telling me
them what they want.
You're telling me what I shouldn't do, but you're not telling me how you would stop the bloodshed. How?
There's two things. Faith leaders have to help our Muslim brothers and sisters defeat this extreme fundamentalism from within. Not by bombing them from without.
Okay,
that'll make it worse.
You don't want this. You don't have anything. You have nothing, Reverend.
No, I do. You're saying that we should do a holy war.
Look, forget about what I'm saying. I'm asking you for the fifth time. Do you have any way to stop this?
We have to defeat this kind of extremism from within, not bomb it from without. Within Islam, right.
And how do you do that? How exactly do you do that?
I'm trying to tell you, Bill, the countries in the region have got to live with their own future. They've got to solve this. We can help in particular ways, but another American war, the war in Iraq,
Reverend, with all due respect, you know we like you.
The war in Iraq,
Reverend,
the war in Iraq
got nothing.
helped cause ISIS.
You have nothing. All you have is criticizing what has happened. You have nothing. Ms. Gould, we'll go back to you.
The same,
you have nothing, Reverend. You're wasting our time. The ISIS people would behead you, your family, and everybody you know, and you'd be saying, you know, the Muslim people have got to deal with it from within. Ms. Gould, I'm going to give you the last word. Do you, after thinking about it, do you have any specifics to stop these people? Go ahead.
We have to forge a political solution that brings in all the key stakeholders. A political solution, and that's not about involving ISIS in diplomacy. It's involving the key stakeholders that actually continue this conflict. It means doing something we've never done before, which is seriously engage Iran in this discussion, because Iran has leverage on the Assad regime, and right now ISIS is growing from the continued violence in Syria.
Problem. The Shia fanatics.
It's not Iran that's going to solve the problem. It's a political process that brings in all the stakeholders that are now currently fomenting the violence.
And you know how well the nukes
that's how the Lebanese Civil War
ended.
ended.
All right, guys. Look, I know I'm obnoxious. But
you have nothing that hasn't worked before.
Okay.
You've tried.
All I'm going to say to you, Reverend, is this. If your philosophy were in place during World War II, we'd all be speaking German. All right? See you guys, and we really appreciate you coming on. I know you know I'm obnoxious, and I'm sorry.